Let's not make haste. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. This is Conversation 290. So we've been on a nice roll. We call it, if you're new to join us, In Search of Awesome. We're always out, whether it's in social media space, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's out in the real world, looking for people behind the chair that are doing an extraordinary job in earning and learning and living right. And tonight is no different. We found Allie Craig, and she is a service provider at a Summit Salon, Beyoutiful Salon in Belton, Texas. Salon owner is Nora Cruz. Her Summit coach is Robin Paul. Robin actually reached out to me and said, "You have got to talk to Allie." And when I found out her W2 trail, I said, yes, indeed. 55, 80 to 100. And her secret sauce, as you're going to see, I mean, it really isn't front page news, but it is front page news. And that is, show me an associate educator Jedi that knows how to grow associates for a living and somebody that can plan in their sleep. And I'll show you a six-figure service provider. So I can't wait to start the conversation. She is level 5 on the very front end of 30-something. So I think she's just getting warmed up, if you ask me. A triple-digit average ticket at 110, 22% RTS, which tells me she's engaging her guests in conversations about what they can do to use what she uses to re-experience, the great, extraordinary off-the-top, blow-your-socks-off experience when they're in her chair. And she rebooks at 65%. Now, I'm not going to get into her story because I want her to tell you the story, but graduates from high school in 2008. 2013 graduates from hair school. So it looks like there's about a 5-year window between when she graduates from high school and goes to hair school. I'll get her talking about that a little bit. And then now, 2021, she's level 5. So she's knocking it out of the park. I would follow her on Instagram if I was you. I just really think she's doing some interesting stuff in how she's using social to grow her clientele. Hair the Alleyway, at Hair the Alleyway, and you'll if you want to DM her with any questions and follow up, do that indeed. She's in my green room now. I'm going to go and get her. I'm going to get her talking about her life a little bit, and then we're going to get her to really, hopefully, share some of her secret sauce. I'm going to put her on full view so you can see who she is. I'm going to unmute Allie, and you're going to make her feel welcome, you guys. Allie Craig.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good. You and I were chatting just for a little while before we got on. You're in the salon. You started your day at 10. This is now, 6:35. So after a long, busy day, before you go home to your hubby and the kitty cats, you're going to give us a few minutes of your time. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we always like to start with the story because the story gives us all an appreciation of where you've been, what got you to where you're at, and where you're going. So get us started with the story. How'd you get into this business? And what's the 5-year gap between when you graduate from high school and you go to hair school?
You know, Michael, I had just a really hard childhood. A lot of unimaginable things happened. And for me to graduate high school was just a big accomplishment in itself. And I was really lost, actually. And I was homeless the summer after I graduated high school. And I just kind of stumbled through life for a while. And I ended up meeting my first husband, and he was military. And so we moved to Texas. And when I got here, I told him, I said, I really want to go to school. I want to do something. And the closest college to the Army base that we lived on had medical or cosmetology. And I was like, I think I'm going to go to hair school. And I didn't have a passion for hair, but I had a passion for people. And so when our daughter was only 8 months old, I graduated hair school and I fell into the salon that I'm in now and have just been growing since then.
Oh my God, what a story. So part of this is really, once upon a time I was homeless and now I'm trending a 6-figure lifestyle. You've mentioned you underscored my first husband, and so you're well into life now.
Yeah.
And then you meet somebody at the Beyoutiful.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice name to have.
Mhm.
Was that one of the definable moments where, because there's always that definable moment,
Mhm.
you get to school and all of a sudden you show up and it's almost like somebody drops a gallon of nitroglycerin on your bonfire and you explode. Was that kind of sort of your experience?
Yeah, I got hired here right before I graduated school, and the environment was just something that I could have never imagined. And our owner takes every day to create a learning place and a growing place. And I just fell into it, and God has been working in this salon and just helped us grow.
So there's something about, you just didn't step into a beautiful salon. It was a beautiful summit salon. And there's something about when you can see what's possible.
Yeah.
It gives, it's like vision gives us hope. And it sounds
Yeah.
like that's what happened to you. That was the nitroglycerin on your bonfire.
Yeah.
Well, so you've had a pretty, I mean, to go from what did we say in your, was it 65 to 80 to now you're trending six figures. What in the world is it like to be you now? Because it sounds like whatever it is you are now, you're not homeless.
Yeah. Yeah, we bought a beautiful home last year and we got to renovate it and make it our own. We have a pool. It's my favorite thing in the Texas hot summer. My daughter gets to ride horses and my son gets to play soccer, and I get to be there at all of their games and horse shows, and I just get to give them a life that I never imagined possible.
Oh my God. I mean, are you going to like write a book on this?
One day.
Yeah. So how old is your daughter your oldest? Yes.
Yes, she's 9 now.
Okay. So
Mhm.
she's at 9. That would put her in, don't tell me, third grade-ish, fourth grade-ish. Am I close?
Yep.
Fourth grade.
Mhm.
And your son is how old?
He's 5, so he's in kindergarten.
Okay. So your life is evolving.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So what are you going to do for an encore? What's in store for you in 2022?
So my main goal is to hit 6 figures and to grow all of my babies. I call them. They're all of my associates that I have or have had. I still take full responsibility for them. So we are growing and we are moving forward and expanding. And we are actually taking a salon trip in May. And our salon is covering that for us and gifting that to us for our hard work last year.
Wow. When you say a salon trip, like the salon's going on a trip,
Mm-hmm.
where are you going, or don't you know yet?
It's a secret. She won't tell us.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't ruin the secret, the surprise. Now, I'm just curious. I want to pivot just a little bit and talk
Mhm.
about what in the world are you doing that's speeding your growth up, because once upon a time I'm without a home. You've
Mhm.
got a lifestyle. I got a swimming pool, a nice house, one great hubby. I got great children. People are watching this going, what? You were
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
Are there many people that you share that once upon a time I was without a home?
Yeah, I don't share it very often. I do share it when I feel like that person needs encouragement and to know that they don't have to be stuck in that same cycle
Yes.
and stuck
Yeah.
in where they are today, that tomorrow is all new for
Wow.
you.
So how many associates have you shared that with? That part of your life, that once upon a time I was homeless.
Um Probably 8.
Oh, how many associates have you had?
So I have 7 successful ones right
Okay,
now.
got it. 7. The Magnificent 7, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so you've got a lineage of 8. Are the 7 at Beyoutiful right now? And
Yeah.
so they're in levels that they've graduated, right? What?
Mhm.
So you've got a lineage of graduates. What
Yeah.
what one of your graduates is at the highest level, and what level are they at?
I have 2 level 3, almost level 4 associates right now.
Oh,
They're the
wow. So
yeah.
think back about, okay, those definable moments, because you get to know people, right? Where
Yeah.
you play that card, you share with them, listen, I trust me when I tell you, I know scarcity. Once upon a time, I was homeless. How many of those, of your graduates, have you shared that part of your story with?
Um, Only a couple. One for sure, just because I know that she has had a hard childhood as well.
Yes.
And I just told her, I was like, I want you to make more than your husband. And she laughed at me, but she does now.
Oh my God. Yeah, and you're touching my soul, because
Yeah.
I grew up like you, profoundly
Mhm.
impoverished. Housing projects and food stamps and all the stuff that goes. Now, we were never, and I say this with gratitude, without a
Mhm.
house, but there were environments that I was in. It was very, very toxic, violent,
Mhm.
all the stuff that goes with scarcity. So I know what I'm pointing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like you you're a spiritual warrior. Going to hell no longer scares you,
No, I've
right?
already been there.
Yeah, we've been there, and we were made better for it. So I think stories like this really provide a vision of what's
Mhm.
possible. It's one of those, wow, if she can do that, I want to be with her
Yeah.
and learn not just what she's doing, but how she's being. And you've had 8 opportunities now
Mhm.
to do that, and it sounds like your track record's pretty damn good. 7 out
Yeah.
of 8 are
Yeah.
grand slamming it.
Mhm.
All right, so I want to pivot to what's the secret sauce? How in the world are you getting from where you're at to where you're at now, behind the chair?
My biggest motivation is just being better than I was yesterday. I look at everything that I do, everything I say, every technique I try, or every experience that I have, and I look at it honestly, and I want to learn from every mistake that I make. So then the next time I can say, oh, I can't do that. And then I move forward and I change the way that I do things.
Yeah, so we call that AGB, always getting better. ALM, always learning more.
Yeah.
But you've mastered the associate process, and you
Yeah.
said something to me that really got my attention. The combination of associates and it sounds like planning. The planner is a very big part of your deal. I want to get you talking a little bit about those two and what kind of difference those two have made.
So every morning I look at what I'm estimated for the day, and I look exactly where I can grow those things. So if I notice I have a client that's getting a highlight, I know that she's going to need a deep conditioner or an acidic bonding treatment or bleach recovery. And we really focus on the growth part of things. I know that I'm booked for a partial highlight. Well, let's turn that into something else. Or this haircut is just a haircut. Let's turn that into a color gloss add onto it. And so we literally look at our books every single day and plan down to the minute what we're going to be doing and when we're going to be doing it.
Yeah, I love that. And I've you are not the first that have shared that, where you've taken planning to another level. You're saying, no, every single guest,
Mhm.
every minute, every hour, we look at what the difference between what people are down for and what other opportunities do we have to
Mhm.
enhance their look,
Yeah.
their experience. And you're always out to take advantage not of the person, but of that opportunity to
Yeah.
make and so that's your biggie. How much
Mhm.
time would you put into just the planning part and in a typical day?
A typical day really only takes about 5 minutes with my associate. We both are always looking at the books and we pull up our report that tells us what our estimated is
Yes.
and really just go from start to finish. And
Yep.
we say, oh, it looks like Amy has this, but let's see if she'll want to go ahead and do this as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, both
So,
on the same page.
so a couple questions come to my mind. You start your day. This is the way it looks. You've
Mhm.
got a very specific, persistent, consistent way of planning. And at the end of the day, it sounds like your day ends up not only bigger, but
Yeah.
quite a bit bigger than it
Yeah.
looked when you showed up.
Mhm.
Define how big that is. Is it like $100 bigger, 200, 300? Like, play that for us.
It varies because I do in maybe like a 10 to 12 hour shift on Tuesdays. So that day can be the biggest day I've ever had was a $1,500 day on a Tuesday. And then I have half days on Wednesdays. So that day looks a little shorter. So my increase is usually about 200 those days.
Right. And it sounds like if you've had a best yet 1,500, I'm just guessing now, you and I haven't had an opportunity to kind of curate this, but there's $1,000 days are part of your rhythm now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that haven't even had that best yet, right? What about how much is your associate involved in your planning, and what does that look like?
I am very much a team with my associates. I don't do a lot without them. They're my partners in crime. And so we do absolutely everything together. And so she's, especially now that we've been together for about 5 or 6 months, she's very good at like knowing who my client is and like, oh, last time she said this, let's see if she'll want her hair styled this time for a date night with her husband. Or like she's jumping in with me, hands on hair and.
Right. Hey, by the way, just a question. Who's Nora Cruz?
Nori is my boss and my mentor.
Okay, because she's given up. She sounds like she's also a big fan too.
He's my number one fan.
Yeah. So I want to be sure that I'm not presumptuous. How much of what you engage them in doing shows up for them when they're graduated and now in a level?
So everybody every day in the salon looks at their estimated and maps out their day. It's just a part of our routine. And so everybody across the board is doing that together.
Wow. So the big deal is, okay, I'm going to continue to lean in and level up in 2022 what I did in 2021 to see if you can crack the infamous 6-figure barrier. Before we bring this to a close, I want to just ask you one last question. I'm assuming, and there's quite a few people watching tonight, and there's going to be a whole lot more people that'll watch this as this lives on YouTube and Instagram and all the other places that we put our content. They're looking at you and they're really identifying with you and relating to the story. It's one of those, oh my God, her story is my story, except I'm not where she is yet. I'm kind of wherever it is. I wonder if I leaned in and leveled up, if I could get anywhere close to where she's at. Anything you want to say to them that might make this definable moment where they make the decision, you know what, I'm going to go for it.
Believe in yourself and love yourself enough to know that you can.
Yeah, I love it. One last question. How important is, we'll call it, a great culture in the salon as it relates to supporting you in the journey from, whether it's Nora or your working peers? Like what how much of a factor is that in you staying, I'm going to call it, on fire?
It's imperative. I don't think I could do anything without every single person in the salon.
Yeah. Well, listen, I wanted to let you know, I'm sure your kids are going, "Where's Mom?" And your hubby's going, "What? Great question. Where is she?" So I want you to get home to the kids. Promise me you'll come back for an encore. We're all going to be very curious to see how close you get to crushing 6 figs.
Absolutely. I would love to.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. It was a great interview. I just, I love your consciousness and the energy, and Godspeed to a great 2022.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
All right. We're going to give it up for only one more time, you guys. All right. See you later. Wowza, I would say. That was a big deal. What did you think of her story? I think we've done 300 interviews now. I want to just kind of get my PowerPoint squared away. We've done 300 interviews now, and I think I can count on 3 fingers, maybe 4, the number of once upon a time I was homeless. Once upon a time I was impoverished. Once upon a time I was in extreme scarcity. I was in, violence and abuse and whatever you want to call. Once upon a time, my life was very, very lifey, and then fast forward, and what you see here is a miracle. It's a transformation. So very, very, very inspiring. Give her, her handle is Hair the Alleyway. Go if you have any questions you want to ask her, DM her, or just DM her and send her some love. I just think just that part of the ride made the ride worthwhile. So really, what I wanted to say before going off is that this conversation is happening on Michael Cole, Millionaire Stylist, and you can see I'm powered by Summit and L'Oreal. That interview will be edited somewhat. We'll repost it. At some point, we may even do a micro learning of it on our Instagram page, and so that you can see it on IGTV. And when you get to the Instagram page, it's the same handle, Michael Cole, Millionaire Stylist. Click on my link tree and find all being the millionaire calcs. We got dream machines, and we have where you can set your annual W2 goal, and the algorithms break it down to your day goal in your service and your retail, and that's basically what Allie was planning around. And then we've got savings goals as well. We call that the Golden Goose Goal. And then we have a debt reduction goal. I'm actually going to be doing a Reels on that tonight. So check that out because it's really cool stuff. I'm doing just really taking much more advantage of the Reels feature on Instagram, and you'll see it on my grids and on Reels as well. So they're like 30-second, 1-minute messages. Talk about micro learnings. At any rate, sign up for Summit Salon 365. All of the educators now are putting our courses. That's become our videocourse.com. So summitsalon365.com. It's a subscription site, but all of our best of bests in production value video that's basically stream. You kind of stream it on your mobile. And there's several programs there that you'll absolutely love. The other is I just found out today that we're well over 100 coaches now, and the overwhelming majority of our coaching is happening online. So we've really moved into digital coaching using platforms like Zoom, team meetings. Sometimes it's FaceTime, sometimes it's just this. It's talking on the phone. But it's really making a big difference. So if you'd like a consultation, free complimentary consultation, call us on our 800 line. You can get all that on our .com, Summit Salon, summitsalon.com. So our sponsor is always, as you can see, we are powered by L'Oreal Professional. So please, to the degree that you support lines like Biolage or Pulp Riot, Kerastase, Pureology, they're all up there. L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Matrix, Shu, Mazzani, that to the degree that you're on your brand, those are your brands and brands that you, turn your clients onto. It puts L'Oreal in a much better position to continue to support the work that Summit's doing. So it's for the good of all and the harm of none. So we always like to express our gratitude and encourage that if you were served by us, check out L'Oreal, and for sure, check out their Level loyalty program. I just heard a stat today that Summit salons now that are taking advantage of loyalty points, meaning people are now, salons are using points to fund, whether it's coaching or whatever, are running at not only a higher level of sales and profits, but a third of their profit is because of the savings of money that they're enjoying as a result of using Loyal Loyalty. So it's a beautiful thing to be and watch. So great watching you tonight. I'm going to let you go. We'll have another one of these conversations coming up on Monday. Got a surprise visit for you. You're going to love him. And have a great weekend. And see you then.